Hey guys. Okay, so kind of weird thing to start off talking about, but one thing I liked in this episode is the conversation between Kid and Killer, which is a simple conversation in itself. But one detail I liked is that the anime made Killer's mannerisms more pronounced and obvious. That he was basically still infected by the smile fruit, which is kind of an obvious thing. Like we pretty much knew that he was gonna be stuck like that for a while. But the thing is, compared to the anime, the manga kind of downplayed that element a touch. And even though it is played up for laughs, I do like how there is still kind of this air of tragedy to it that also acts as a motivator for Kid and his crew to defeat Kaido. Like they're pretty much doing it in order to save Kid. Like pretty much showing that they're pretty much, is pretty much more to Kid than just being this bloodthirsty pirate that everyone knows. He very much he's still very much kept in character, but it shows a different side that he genuinely does care for his does care for his crew and the people he who are under him. Um, but he will still take revenge accordingly, and that he's got just but and also reinforces that he's got just as much of a reason as everyone else for being here. And yeah, I gotta say that whole transformation scene of everyone basically donning the garb of Kaido's crew, it was once again a very small scene that I kind of loved more in the anime. But in both cases, it's one of those where you have to wonder when it comes to Kid and Luffy specifically, who are just total loudmouths and just unable to be subtle at all. Just how useful will this guy's even be to them? But even more hilarious is how Brook just got the least amount of changes with his disguise. Period. um, Now, I do think one of the immediate flaws with this episode is that even though we've come to expect stuff like this, the episode still did feel like it took a little longer than what was necessary in order to get to the front gates of Onigashima. But once again, once it did that's pretty much where the episode really did kick off in some ways, because we're treated to because we're treated to a couple moments that because even though not really a whole lot of fighting happened in this episode, that there was still a good amount of fanfare moments of the alliance just doing a lot in order to prepare to charge in themselves, and so many great scenes and moments we basically got just like whether it's conversations or just actions or whatnot. And if you pay close attention, there's a moment before the raid officially begins where one person in particular on pure instinct takes out the guards before they can report to Kaido or Orochi. I'm of course talking about Usopp, and I draw attention to him in this episode specifically because just from Usopp using that from Green Star like sleep gas thing, it already establishes how key a role he is going to play in this raid and how much of a focal point his role as the sniper and support will be. But even more importantly, going forward, it also establishes there will be a lot of key moments throughout going forward where pay attention to like pay attention to like Usopp and a lot of the other support members of the Straw Hats, because they're going to be the ones who are really going to be pivotal towards keeping the fight alive, even when it looks like everyone is being overwhelmed. Just pretty much trust Usopp, Nami, Chopper to be the ones to be there in order to keep everything going, even when it looks like everything is going to be at its bleakest. Like the support members of the Straw Hats and even just the Alliance in general, they're going to be the important ones for sure. Um, with that said, one thing I really want to talk about with this episode is the music, specifically in the moment where it's building up the first reveal of Onigashima, and all the way up to the full reveal of what Onigashima's front gates look like, and how when it came to the soundtrack and the music of this episode, and how it built up Onigashima, like Onigashima. There was this very booming but ominous track that played that really built up just the terror and danger that everyone was about to charge into. And the music also served to reinforce another, and the music served to reinforce that, but as well as another important point of reminding us that even though we haven't even started fighting Kaido yet, just from just getting this buildup of Onigashima itself is already reminding us of Kaido's power and strength. Like, and but that this is not going, that this is not going to be anything like any of the previous encounters before, and pretty much not even like the one where Luffy had already come face to face with another one of the Big Emperor's Big Mom. Like this is a whole new level of danger compared to even Whole Cake Island. Like everything that you thought was dangerous in Whole Cake Island or Dressrosa, anything else, yeah, everything about that is on a whole new level, and that's something that has been constantly being built up throughout this arc. But here, it's basically all come to a head that yes, it's all well and good, but it ain't gonna. When you get down to it, it's still like it still gives off this feeling that even despite how confident everyone is, they're still not ready. And yeah, obviously another huge thing to talk about is the samurai basically destroy their own ships before coming ashore, and it shows just how serious the Akaze and Nine see this battle. To them, there is no turning back now. Either they kill Kaido or be killed themselves. That's how much the samurai have resolved themselves to this fight, which in itself, their steeled determination is respectable, but just kind of getting this one single moment of them resolving themselves in this fight really also kind of paints a picture and serves as a bit of foreboding foreshadowing that even if the Straw Hats and their allies do gain a victory here today, it's probably not going to be a complete one. Like, just in the way that this episode was built up, we're already getting the feeling that there's going to be something about the end of this arc where it'll probably end on a much more bittersweet note compared to, again, any other encounter before. In a lot of ways, again, I think Whole Cake Island, the way Whole Cake Island ended was kind of a prelude to this idea that when you fight an emperor, even if you gain victory, you're still going to lose something in return. And I guess even in case of Big Mom, when you look at it, the Straw Hats didn't even gain a victory other than the Straw Hats really didn't even gain a victory other than pretty much defeating pretty much two of Big Mom's two of Big Mom's sweet generals. Like that's really the only victory they really got there. So yeah, but honestly, this was just another. This is an episode where I think its biggest strength wasn't really in its action or anything, but just in the simple conversations people were having. Like it's one of those episodes that really shows us why we love these characters and why these and like the character interactions are just as good as like just the action or the story or whatnot. Just getting to see these characters be themselves, and I especially loved the one between like Denjiro and Kinemon. It showed a genuine respect that from the two of them like still pretty much hold for each other even after this pretty much long, even after not seeing each other for so long. So yeah, but yeah guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Analyst, Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the like, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share this one around, guys. Death Knight signing off. Later.